My cousin Lynn was praised as the most beautiful doctor. I had waited so long to get a rare heart match, but she deliberately gave it away to the newly admitted grandson of a wealthy family. Lynn casually declared, "This heart should go to the one who needs it most. Even for a relative, I won't break the rules." She earned a stellar reputation in the hospital. The rich family saw her as their savior. Meanwhile, my condition worsened, leaving me bedridden. The post-op expenses were astronomical, forcing me to post a plea for donations online. My cousin, Lynn, frowned, chastising me for losing my self-respect and dignity. Then, without my consent, she deleted my donation post. I could only watch helplessly as my chance at life slowly slipped away. Eventually, due to the prolonged delay and lack of treatment, I died a painful death in the hospital, consumed by immense resentment. I opened my eyes again. I was back on the very day my cousin tricked me into signing the heart donation waiver. Before me was the familiar surgical consent form, only the signature line visible. Lynn's cold voice echoed in my ears, "Sign it." I immediately realized I was alive again, back to the day my cousin Lynn unilaterally gave away my heart. Memories of my past life flooded back like a tide. Lynn was a new, arrogant, and seemingly noble surgeon. She had once posted a video criticizing patients who preferred to seek cancer treatment abroad over trusting local doctors. That video quickly went viral across social media. In it, she expressed her sorrow over modern people's preference for foreign things, showcasing a doctor's pride and dignity. Through this image, she attracted countless fans and was dubbed the most beautiful doctor by netizens. In my past life, I had suddenly suffered from heart failure and needed a heart transplant. After a long, arduous year in the hospital, I finally received a heart match. I was full of hope, eagerly awaiting rebirth. But just 2 days before the surgery, Lynn, who had always been distant, unexpectedly knocked on my hospital room door. I was very surprised because on the very first day of my admission, she had coldly stated in front of doctors, nurses, and my family, "Even if you're my cousin, I won't show favoritism. Don't expect special treatment based on our relationship. I treat all patients fairly. I am a doctor, I have principles." Actually, I had never told her I was hospitalized. When I was about to greet her, she handed me a paper and a pen, covering the content with her hand, only revealing the signature line. "This is a surgical consent form. Sign it." I instinctively wanted to take it and read it, but she pulled it back, her voice impatient. "Hurry up, I have other patients to see." Rushed and trusting her, I didn't examine it carefully and just signed it. I happily waited for the surgery. But for 3 days, no one came to take me to the operating room. I rushed to the doctor's office to ask. The attending physician looked at me strangely. "Didn't you refuse the surgery and choose conservative treatment? You signed the heart donation waiver, don't you remember?" He showed me the crooked signature. It was the very paper Lynn had given me to sign. "If you want a heart transplant again, you'll have to start from the back of the line. The heart you gave up has been transferred to the next patient. Coincidentally, that patient is your cousin's patient." My head buzzed. I dragged my weak body to find Lynn. I broke down, asking why she harmed me. Lynn coldly said, "Anya, I'm truly disappointed in you. You can still wait, but my patient is a child who cannot. You are too selfish." She seriously stated, "Hearts must be prioritized for those who need them most, not based on the waiting list order. I'm just being fair. Precisely because you're my relative, I must adhere to my principles even more strictly." Her voice feigned helplessness. "I'll try to get you another heart later. I hope you understand." Other patients and their families around praised her for her impartiality and ethical conduct as a doctor. I believed her words and didn't pursue the matter. But afterward, my illness worsened. I no longer had the strength to get out of bed. Lynn, thanks to that successful surgery, became famous, hailed as a lifesaver. Just as I struggled to complete my own heart transplant, my family went bankrupt. Unable to afford the expensive treatment costs, I was forced to appeal for donations. Lynn again scolded me for not maintaining my self-respect and dignity. My cousin unilaterally helped me delete my donation plea. I could only helplessly watch my chance of survival slowly vanish. Ultimately, due to the prolonged delay and inability to receive treatment, I died painfully in the hospital. Only after dying did I learn that the child's condition wasn't critical at all. It was simply because he was the grandson of a wealthy family. Lynn had not hesitated to steal my heart to curry favor with the rich family, prioritizing his surgery and gaining their gratitude. Publicly, she refused payment, but when the rich family secretly slipped a check into her coat pocket, she pretended not to notice. Reborn once more, I vowed to expose Lynn's hypocritical, arrogant, and seemingly noble facade and make her pay the price. Don't waste time, sign it quickly. Other patients are waiting. Lynn's urging voice pulled me back to reality. I slowly picked up the pen. Lynn still clutched the paper tightly. The moment the pen nib touched the paper, I suddenly snatched it. I wanted to see the content, but Lynn, who always kept an eye on me, quickly blocked me, pulling the paper back into her hand. I hadn't managed to see anything. An annoyed voice rang above my head. "Cousin, what's the meaning of this?" "It's just a normal surgical consent form. What's there to see? I'm your cousin, would I really harm you?" I lifted my flushed face, my voice choked with grievance. "I'm sorry, I just wanted to glance at it. I didn't mean to upset you. I'll sign it now, I won't look anymore." I bit my lip tightly, tears welling up. Lynn, thinking I wouldn't dare displease her, huffed with satisfaction. "Good that you understand." "Patient in bed 23, why are you crying?" An aged voice rang out, interrupting Lynn. It was the hospital director and department heads making rounds. The corner of my lips subtly curved up. In my past life, not long after Lynn left, the director had visited me, inquired about my condition, and encouraged me. My recent action was merely a delaying tactic, waiting for the director to appear. The ward was immediately filled with high-ranking doctors. Lynn panicked, trying to hide the paper, but it was too late. I clutched one end of the document, a wronged expression on my face. Dr. Lynn asked me to sign a surgical consent form. I just wanted to see the content, but I accidentally delayed the doctor's work. I should have just trusted the doctor without needing to read it. The director gently handed me a tissue. "Child, it's your responsibility to read the content carefully before signing. No doctor has the right to make you sign without reading." He turned to Lynn, his voice stern. "As a doctor, you have no right to prevent a patient from reading documents. Furthermore, you are not the attending physician for bed 23. Why are you bringing this document?" Lynn's face turned pale, she couldn't argue. Seizing her carelessness, I snatched the paper and read aloud, "Heart donation waiver and release of liability." Lynn frantically lunged to grab it back, but the director quickly took it. He questioned sternly, "Dr. Lynn, what is the meaning of this?" Lynn stammered. I don't know, I must have picked up the wrong one." I sneered internally. In my past life, Lynn had proudly declared that hearts should go to those who need them most, that the system was unfair, and she was merely correcting it. Now, facing the director, why couldn't Lynn be so forthright? "I know your patient is next in line after me, and if I give up, it'll be their turn. But a heart isn't something you can just give up. Your patient can't wait, but my condition is also critical. You're my family, how could you treat me like this?" The moment I finished speaking, the doctor's expressions immediately changed. A new doctor daring to do something like this is truly ridiculous. An experienced doctor fumed. Cold sweat plastered Lynn's temples, her lips were pale. She glared at me as if finding an opportunity to counterattack. "You're slandering me, do you have proof? Since childhood, I've always been smarter and better than you. You're used to being jealous of me. I'm a doctor at a top hospital while you're just a dying patient. You couldn't stand it, so you're trying to harm me?" But no one believed her sophistry. Very soon after, Lynn was suspended from her duties. The news of her tricking a patient into signing a heart donation waiver spread rapidly throughout the hospital. Patients under her care successively requested to change doctors. The arrogant, noble image she had painstakingly built collapsed completely. The wealthy family's grandson did not receive priority surgery. Even though Lynn begged for another chance, the rich family coldly transferred their grandson to another hospital. As for me, my heart transplant was successful, and I passed the critical stage. The day I was transferred back to a regular ward, I coincidentally ran into Lynn, who had just been reinstated. The hospital had demoted and disciplined Lynn. She had dark circles under her eyes and a haggard complexion, but she still tried to act noble and aloof. Lynn held her phone, recording everywhere, saying, "Welcome new viewers to my live stream. I'm a doctor from a top hospital. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Thank you to the kind person who gifted a Porsche." It turned out that during her half-month suspension, Lynn had been live-streaming daily on a platform with the most beautiful doctor account. Lynn attracted millions of followers. In her live streams, she built an image of a noble doctor, indifferent to fame and fortune. She claimed that she had voluntarily resigned to avoid internal conflicts and gossip, only wishing to be a dedicated doctor. Lynn criticized the hospital for power struggles, doctors for not focusing on their work, and patients for trying to exploit connections. She lamented, "It's so hard to uphold medical ethics and be a compassionate doctor nowadays." Netizens were moved by this image of the most beautiful doctor, causing her live stream viewership to explode, with over 100,000 concurrent viewers and gifts pouring in. Having tasted the sweetness of becoming a famous doctor, Lynn didn't stop. She continued to livestream with content about her work experience at the top hospital, constantly broadcasting live when visiting patients. Lynn held her phone to livestream while holding patient charts, asking perfunctory questions, then got engrossed in chatting with her audience. Patients complained about discomfort, but she didn't bother to listen. When patients filed complaints, Lynn would sigh on livestream, "Sometimes I think I've taken such good care of my patients, and they were satisfied, yet I still get complaints. It's truly disheartening, but with a doctor's compassion, I will forgive them." These words only brought her more gifts. When the department head called her in for a talk, Lynn pouted, denying everything. "Patients are just nitpicking. I haven't done anything wrong. My conscience is clear." During my half-month recovery, I watched Lynn as if she were a monkey performing tricks, until unexpectedly, a video I filmed went viral. Initially, bored from being hospitalized, I filmed a few vlogs about my treatment life and posted them online. The comments were all patients encouraging each other, thanking me for giving them motivation to fight their illnesses, eagerly awaiting my daily updates. One day, I posted a new vlog as usual. To my surprise, overnight, the video trended with tens of millions of views. My account gained 500,000 followers in just 1 week. Viewers were moved by my optimistic attitude. "Keep fighting, little sister, you'll definitely recover." My brother also had a heart transplant. "Those days in the hospital were so hard. Hang in there." I was going to give up treatment, but watching your videos made me want to try a little longer. Reading these comments warmed my heart. I posted videos more frequently, and my follower count quickly surpassed 1 million. All the money I earned from the videos, I donated to the Children's Heart Fund. Lynn and I lived separate lives for a month, like river and well water never mixing. Until one day, while looking for a newly befriended patient, I saw Lynn livestreaming again. She was sprawled on the bed of a frail young boy, indifferent to his exhaustion, even putting the camera close to his face. "Hello everyone in the livestream, this is albinism. White hair, white eyelashes, guess what else?" The boy, around 7 or 8, was old enough to know this doctor was filming and talking about him. Children with albinism are inherently sensitive and self-conscious due to their differences. Tears streamed down his red face. He sobbed, "Doctor, please don't film me anymore, I'm ugly." But Lynn didn't stop. She even brought the camera closer so the audience could see clearly. The boy cried hysterically, hiding under the blanket. Lynn, annoyed, tried to pull him out. My heart clenched. I rushed to stop her. Lynn was furious. "Anya, I'm examining a patient. If you're not recovering well, don't interfere with others' treatment." As she spoke, she pointed her phone at me. Was she trying to slander me to incite netizens to attack me? I immediately slapped her, a faint smile on my face. This is the first time I've seen a patient examination being live-streamed. Without the patient's permission, this is a violation of privacy. My slap wasn't light, turning Lynn's left cheek bright red. She immediately switched her camera to selfie mode for the live stream, putting on a pitiful expression, covering her cheek but intentionally revealing the red part. Her voice choked, tears welling up. "I'm okay, just a little slap. Please don't scold her, everyone. It's normal for doctors to be misunderstood. I'm used to it. Don't attack others because of me." But behind the camera, she secretly mouthed at me, provoking, "Just wait and see, you'll be attacked by netizens." Lynn smugly awaited a wave of criticism from the online community, but she had miscalculated. Comments in the live stream quickly changed. "It's Anya. I love her vlogs. Anya is so kind, even hugging the crying baby." Actually, I thought Lynn was a bit too much. The most beautiful doctor acting like this. Netizens quickly recognized me. A flood of comments requested me to appear and say hello. The abusive comments directed at me were completely drowned out. Lynn's face darkened. Her attempt to instigate failed, she was criticized herself, and she even helped increase my popularity. Seeing all comments mentioning me, she hastily changed the topic, trying to draw attention back to herself, but no one cared. Finally, Lynn had to hastily end the livestream. Before leaving, she glared at me, full of resentment. I hugged the boy, gently comforting him. "You are not a monster. You are very beautiful, a shining angel." Netizens' interest in Lynn gradually waned. Her live streams had fewer and fewer viewers, with many comments calling them boring and switching to watch my vlogs instead. Lynn was so angry she stomped her feet, blocking every single person. She tried to imitate me by making vlogs, but no patients were willing to cooperate. Lynn's failures mounted, her follower count plummeted. Meanwhile, my account surpassed 2 million followers. The Children's Heart Fund invited me to host a charity livestream. I was interviewed by television stations and became a positive role model in newspapers. My influence reached its peak, while the name, Most Beautiful Dr. Lynn, was gradually forgotten. The next day, preparing for the charity livestream, I went to bed early. The following morning, I woke up and reached for my phone but couldn't find it. As I wondered where it was, a fellow patient friend rushed in, flustered. "Anya, what happened to your TikTok account?" I rubbed my eyes, not remembering where I'd left my phone. My friend handed me her phone to show me my profile page. It was empty. All more than 30 videos I had uploaded were gone. My account name had changed to unsubscribed, and my profile picture was back to default. My friend asked in surprise, "Why did you delete your account?" I stared blankly at the screen, shaking my head. I didn't delete it. Instantly, I snapped awake, my mind racing. Someone had hacked my phone and deleted my account. I immediately identified the suspect. Just as I was about to get out of bed to find her, she appeared at the doorway. Lynn slowly walked in, her tone arrogant. "Anya, being a social media celebrity is just a low-class trick to sell smiles and make money. As your cousin, it's my responsibility to correct you and help you regain your lost self-respect." She lowered her voice. "Don't blame me for being drastic. Only this way will you return to the right path. Even if you hate me, I'll accept it as long as you become better." With that, she held up my phone. "When you realize your mistake, I'll give it back to you." If an outsider heard this, they would surely applaud her as the best sister in the world. These familiar words reminded me of my past life. Lynn was once the famous, most beautiful doctor. But just as she was about to become a top-hot streamer, Dr. Shen, who had just returned from studying abroad, suddenly gained popularity. Dr. Shen surpassed Lynn in every aspect: top-tier Ivy League education, excellent appearance, calm demeanor, outstanding academic achievements, and rich clinical experience. He focused only on sharing simple medical knowledge without selling anything and donated all his income to charity. Dr. Shen was loved by the public. His videos were interesting and easy to understand. Gradually, whenever "most beautiful doctor" was mentioned, people only thought of him. Lynn, obsessed with live streaming and receiving gifts, became disliked, and her audience gradually left. She blamed Dr. Shen for stealing her fans and traffic. Not long after, Lynn uploaded a video criticizing Dr. Shen as a fake online doctor, fabricating stories about his qualifications, defrauding charity, forcing patients to film videos, and using his reputation to act arbitrarily in the hospital. She even encouraged other doctors to become celebrities, not prioritizing patients. In the video, Lynn appeared righteous and severe, criticizing that doctor for losing the dignity and self-respect of a medical professional, making the industry chaotic. She extolled herself, claiming to be completely different from that doctor, as all her profits were used to help sick children. The target of her criticism was Dr. Shen. The incident quickly sparked outrage. Lynn's sharp rhetoric made many believe her. Initially, people went to Dr. Shen's comment section to ask for clarification, but received no response. Lynn hired a PR team to fan the flames of public opinion. Many self-proclaimed victims came forward to confirm her words. When Dr. Shen tried to clarify, he was already condemned by public opinion. His explanations were dismissed as sophistry, fabricated lies. After many days of silence, the biggest beneficiary was Lynn. Netizens praised her as a clear stream in the medical field. Her engagement and follower count soared. Gifts during her live streams were too numerous to count. Dr. Shen, on the other hand, was cyberbullied, fired, and the hospital where he worked was severely affected. He had to resign, falling into years of depression. He couldn't understand why everything fell apart just because he stayed awake for 2 days and 2 nights to complete a surgery. He had no idea that Lynn had deliberately chosen a time when he was busy and couldn't go online to play her tricks. Hearing those familiar platitudes, I couldn't help but sneer. Lynn only knew how to use these despicable tricks. She even stood in the corner of the room, raising her hand to make an okay sign, provoking me. I curled my lips and loudly asked, "But cousin, aren't you also a celebrity? So you should delete your account too, right?" Seizing her moment of carelessness, I snatched her phone, quickly navigating to the account deletion interface. Lynn panicked, hastily trying to grab it back, but it was too late. Her eyes flashed with malice, then she suddenly pushed me hard. I dodged to the side. Her phone fell to the ground, its screen black. Lynn bent down to pick it up, feigning regret. "Oh, cousin, you're so clumsy. I won't blame you. No need to pay for damages. But now we have to wait for the phone to be repaired before I can help you delete your account." I chuckled softly. "No need to trouble yourself. My phone is with you, so you can just use it to delete my account." Lynn stiffened, forcing a strained smile. My account can't be deleted. Unlike you, I livestream to spread medical knowledge and do charity work to help the community. If I delete it, it's everyone who loses out." I knew I had hooked her. I feigned surprise. "Oh, charity? But you also receive gifts, right?" Lynn choked on her words. I didn't ask them to give me gifts. They sent them themselves. How could I stop them?" She glared at me. "Don't think I don't know that filming videos also makes money. What right do you have to question me?" I calmly replied, "All my income is donated to charity." "But cousin, you've received so many gifts. Haven't you ever donated?" Lynn's face went from pale to purple, but she couldn't refute me. Previously, to win over fans, Lynn always emphasized that she donated all her live stream income. Because of this, fans sent even more gifts. But now, exposed by me, she flinched, realizing this was a hospital and no one else was listening. Lynn immediately changed her attitude. She arrogantly raised her head. "Anya, whether I donate or not, what does it have to do with you? Trying to dig into my affairs? Your account was deleted by me. You can't fight me." I calmly looked straight at her. "So, you weren't trying to help me but just wanted to eliminate me because I was in your way." Lynn laughed arrogantly. "That's right, you've lost to me, ha." I coldly watched her, then walked to my patient friend, took his phone, and pointed it at the camera. "I'm sure everyone heard that, right? I'll continue to post more evidence." Lynn reeled back in horror. "Anya, what are you doing?" I smiled. "I'm live streaming, of course." I gently showed Lynn the explosion of comments. Lynn stole Anya's phone and deleted her account. She's also trying to gaslight her. Anya should report her to the police. Searched all charity organizations, couldn't find Lynn's name. This is clearly donation fraud, report her to the police. Dying of laughter. Others become influencers and are called greedy for fame, but Lynn's live streaming is free charity. Others are forced to delete accounts, but she insists hers can't be deleted. So we're all just free ATMs for her, while she pretends to be noble and detached from fame and fortune. Give us back our money, Lynn. Lynn was completely exposed, utterly collapsed. She thrashed in despair, screaming, "It's not like that. Anya is slandering me. Don't believe her. I'm innocent." I took back the phone, calmly pointing to the door. "If you have any grievances, go tell them to the police station." Very soon after, Lynn was arrested by the police for theft and donation fraud. I live-streamed the entire process of exposing her, leaving no detail out. At noon, I publicly released the surveillance camera footage showing Lynn secretly taking my phone while I was asleep and deleting my account. I also released text messages where she used my WeChat account to contact the charity fund, demanding the cancellation of my live stream and insulting the fund manager. Immediately afterward, the charity fund also published text messages where Lynn badmouthed me and unilaterally created a live stream to profit. Hardcore fans who had once defended Lynn immediately unfollowed and even blocked her account. The comment section under Lynn's videos was flooded with criticism. Netizens collectively reported her account. Before long, Lynn's million-follower account was completely deleted. I retrieved my phone and logged into my account. It automatically restored. That was also why Lynn was so insistent on keeping my phone. If I hadn't retrieved it in time, after 7 days, the account would have been permanently deleted and unrecoverable. Lynn was detained for 7 days in jail. She had already planned her media strategy, hiring a PR team to whitewash her image, staying silent for a few months for netizens to forget the old news, then making a comeback. She confidently thought she would at most lose a few fans. But when she got out, what awaited her was a completely deleted account, all her fans gone. Lynn frantically ran to the platform's headquarters to complain, but no one paid her any attention. She opened a new account, posting videos exposing the platform, pretending to be righteous, but no one cared. Even old fans who accidentally scrolled past flooded in with negative comments, causing her videos to fail miserably. No one gave her gifts during live streams. She was mocked as fake Daisy. Exasperated, Lynn uttered obscenities live on air, leading to her channel being banned from live streaming. After it was reinstated, she switched to selling products, exploiting the guise of selling to save lives. She secretly live-streamed right inside the hospital and managed to trick some new people. One day, I coincidentally walked past a patient room and saw Lynn hugging a child to sell products. Looking closely, it was the same albino boy from before, little Kai. After investigating, I learned the boy had albinism and asthma. His parents were divorced, neither wanting to raise him. When he had an asthma attack, they would just bring him to the hospital and abandon him, leaving him entirely to the nurse's care. Lynn must have known this, which is why she dared to brazenly exploit the boy. At that moment, little Kai was cowering in Lynn's arms, sobbing, "Mommy, Daddy, don't you want me anymore?" Lynn ignored the child's cries. "Friends, this child is so pitiful, abandoned by his parents. I couldn't bear it, so I just want to sell a few more items to earn money for his asthma treatment." The live stream was full of gullible people. "Dr. Lynn is so kind, I'm placing an order right away. I've spent all my living expenses for this month hoping to help the child. I truly have no money left, so I borrowed from my in-laws to place an order." Lynn pretended to be touched. "You are all so kind. Thanks to everyone's help, the child will recover." She pulled the boy in front of the camera. "Little Kai, hurry and thank everyone." The boy cried loudly in fear. "No. I don't want to." A cruel glint flashed in Lynn's eyes. She was about to pinch little Kai. Just then, I walked in. I immediately pushed her hand away. Little Kai struggled free from Lynn, rushing into my arms. "Sister Anya, save me." I held little Kai tightly, comforting him, then asked a nurse to take him away. Lynn was furious, about to explode, but I quickly snatched her phone, ran into the restroom, and locked the door from the outside. Lynn pounded on the door frantically. After some quick maneuvering, I slowly opened the door and handed her phone back. Lynn screamed when she saw her account was deleted again. "What did you do?" "My account is gone again." I immediately changed my expression, feigning sorrow, and said in a serious tone, "Cousin, I'm just stopping you from falling further. As a doctor, you must be noble and indifferent to fame and fortune. Live streaming to sell products is shameful behavior, a disgrace to the medical profession. I'm doing this for your own good. Even if you blame me, I will still firmly delete your account so you can leave this dirty online world. You'll thank me later." Lynn's face twisted with rage. She yelled, "Are you crazy? Being noble or not is your business. Don't drag me into it." I scoffed internally. So she clearly understood what she was doing. This was the account Lynn had painstakingly rebuilt from scratch, now completely destroyed by me. She went insane, tugging at my hair, screaming, "You have to pay me back for my account." Remembering my past life, I raised my head and coldly said, "Your account is too popular, it's not fair to other bloggers. I'm helping you delete it to share the traffic with everyone. That's what's fair." In my past life, hadn't she brazenly taken my heart, citing fairness? Now that she tasted fairness, why couldn't she bear it? Lynn screamed wildly, lunging to hit me, but security guards rushed over to restrain her. She struggled, cursing and punching the air. Suddenly, she stopped, her eyes darkening. She stared at me, gritting her teeth. "Anya, I'll make you lonely and slowly die in that hospital bed again." I was startled. Lynn had also been reborn. My heart pounded erratically, but I smiled even more brightly. "All right, let's see how I'll push you into hell this lifetime." Lynn's words were too clear. In my past life, my family's bankruptcy wasn't due to capital rupture but sabotage by others. In my past life, just as I completed my heart transplant and was in the ICU, my parents were arrested on bribery charges. The company was handed over to my uncle, Lynn's father, Mr. Lamb, for temporary management. But after only a short time, the company, which had been operating well, suddenly ran out of capital and declared bankruptcy overnight. My parents were sentenced to prison, and all our assets were confiscated. The moment I left the ICU, I faced exorbitant postoperative treatment costs and family turmoil. Relatives avoided me like the plague, fearing I'd borrow money from them, even cursing me as bad luck, the cause of my family's ruin. In desperation, I was forced to appeal for donations, but Lynn exposed me on livestream, criticizing me as a parasite and lacking self-respect. She even unilaterally deleted my fundraising post. Praised by netizens as a righteous person, she became a hot streamer, receiving numerous advertising contracts. Meanwhile, I had no way out. Doctors only prescribed me cheap medicines to prolong my life. Ultimately, due to heart rejection, I didn't survive. I died in bitter resentment before I could even investigate the real reason my parents were arrested. I knew my parents were honest people and could never have taken bribes. My intuition told me they were framed. After my rebirth, I immediately warned my parents to be wary of those around them. My parents choked up, hugging me, tears streaming down their faces. "You've suffered so much, my child." Actually, they were the ones who suffered the most, but Lynn's recent words helped me narrow down the scope of my investigation. When my parents brought food to the hospital, I told them that Lynn had also been reborn. My mother mused, "Lately, your father and I have uncovered clues related to Mr. Lamb." Mr. Lamb was Lynn's father. In my past life, my parents built their company from scratch, transforming a small shop into a listed company. Mr. Lamb had been fired for leaking secrets at his previous company, then came to my mother asking for work. Thanks to our family connection, he was hired as a manager in our family company. For many years, he worked without making any mistakes and was gradually promoted. Eventually, he became the CEO. My parents recounted the entire investigation process to me. After discussion, the whole family decided to bide their time, not to tip off the snake. A week later, I was suddenly informed that my parents had been arrested on bribery charges. I couldn't believe it, breaking down in tears. Why like this? Everything was supposed to be different from my past life. Immediately, Lynn texted me, "Cousin, you can't handle this already? Part 2 is still coming. It's the same old trick as in your past life." After Mr. Lamb took over the company, the capital chain was cut, and the company quickly went bankrupt. I couldn't afford the expensive treatment costs and was forced to post a donation plea. Lynn came to my bedside, bending down to say disdainfully, "Do you regret confronting me? Aren't you finding the pain of your past life interesting now?" She lightly patted my face. "Don't rush, there's more fun to come." Immediately after, a man and a woman carrying camera equipment entered the ward. It turned out Lynn, as the new representative of the surgery department, was about to participate in a live stream interview. She sat on the edge of my bed. I coldly said, "Start." The host asked, "What touched you most in the new surgery department?" Lynn replied, "Some patients would rather die than work extra for surgery money." The host pressed, "Then why are you sighing?" Lynn put on a sorrowful expression. "Because some patients are clearly wealthy but still beg for donations. Isn't that deceiving others' kindness?" Then she suddenly pointed at me. "Cousin, it's best to admit your mistakes and correct them." The camera immediately turned to me. This scene was identical to my past life when I was heavily criticized by netizens and my condition worsened. Lynn smugly looked at me, awaiting critical comments, but I feigned confusion. "Appeal for donations? I've never done that. You're mistaken, sister," Lynn sneered. "It can be traced on the platform. If you made a mistake, you should admit it." But immediately, her smile vanished. Comments flooded in, criticizing Lynn. Netizens had discovered that I had never appealed for donations. Lynn was clearly slandering me. I calmly stated, "Cousin, your family is wealthy, yet you opened a donation drive to scam money. That's you, isn't it?" The host, realizing something big was happening, immediately turned the camera back to me. I opened a donation app, pointing at the screen. "This is your younger brother. He has late-stage cancer, but yesterday he was still dancing somewhere. Your family owes tens of millions, but you just posted a photo showing off a Chanel bag yesterday." Netizens immediately turned into detectives, investigating Lynn and her mother for falsifying medical records to defraud donation money. Lynn immediately threatened me. "Quickly retract that, or my father will make sure your parents die in prison." I sneered. "What if it's your family who goes to prison instead?" Lynn furiously lunged to strangle me, but police officers suddenly burst in and restrained her. I calmly said, "What I mean is, my parents' arrest and the company's bankruptcy were all a sham. My parents and I cooperated with the police to lure out the mastermind behind it." In my past life, when the city launched a corruption investigation, Mr. Lamb was almost arrested. The power behind him pushed my parents to take the fall to protect Mr. Lamb. After I died, that power was dismantled, and my parents were finally exonerated, but I was no longer there to witness it. The ordinary livestream immediately turned into a crime scene. Livestream viewership skyrocketed, and the replay garnered millions of views. Netizens were enraged. Like family, like crime. The Lynn family, every one of them criminals. How disgusting. The hospital immediately fired Lynn. I then learned that Lynn's previous suspension was only temporary because she had an ambiguous relationship with the vice director. But now that she had committed a crime, the vice director chose to protect himself. Not long after, he too was investigated and stripped of his position. Lynn and her mother were sentenced to 5 to 10 years in prison for fraud. Mr. Lamb received a 20-year sentence for bribing millions of yuan. The day Lynn was sentenced was also the day I was discharged from the hospital. I breathed in the fresh air, linking arms with my parents, clearly feeling the strong beat of my own heart. Finally, I could live a peaceful life. From now on, eternal peace.